Hi there, my name is Ryan Hoover. I am the Director of Events and Promotions for the Erie Downtown Development Corporation. And today I'm taking you along with me on a little tour here of the Flagship City District. And if we're lucky, we're gonna go check out a couple empty apartments here that are managed by the Erie Downtown Development Corporation. We'll go see what some of the apartments are like. There is very limited availability this time of year. There's a handful of apartments that are completely empty. So we're gonna go take a little walk. We'll go see some of the shops. Go and check out the apartments. So come along with me. We'll do a little short tour here of the Flagship City District so you can get a sense of what it's like around here. Let's go get started. So all of our flagship tours begin right here at the Flagship City District Welcome Center, right here, address 419 State Street. We're here in the front lobby. It's where we meet all of our folks who are interested in checking out the apartments. But what's cool is upstairs there's all sorts of cool businesses. There's a cigar lounge all the way on the top, mini golf on the second floor. And then here on the first floor, Kay's Nails, a great little nail salon. And then right next door is a really cool Italian restaurant called Serafini's. These are just some of the businesses here that are really right next to the Welcome Center. So it's pretty cool. Nice little spot here to get our tour started. Right here on State Street. We're just walking south here on State Street. Next door here, Primo Tailoring, awesome little tailoring shop. You can get your shoes shined. Here, we'll pop in the window here. May not go into every business, but we will just kind of peek in the window, do some window shopping. Here's Primo Tailoring, lovely suit. Got the Dollhouse at point 4, vintage goods. You got your vintage dresses. Very cool vibes and great atmosphere here at the Dollhouse. Of course, can't go downtown without a Subway. Got to get your Subway. So right upstairs, actually, so right now is right here above Subway is the 429 State Apartments. Directly across the street is the Ascend Climbing Gym, and the apartment's called 5 West. Right here on the corner, we got our Talk Erie radio station. Very cool little spot here. So right here is the entrance to 429 State. We'll come back to this a little later. We'll go inside here and we'll check out a 1-bedroom if we can. Ooh, we got the cross, so we're gonna go ahead and cross. So here we are, 5th Street, State Street. Walking across Flagship City Food Hall's across the street. I think that's where we're gonna start. I think we might start at the Flagship City Food Hall, check out an apartment over there. But the purpose of the video here, just to give you a little idea of what downtown Erie is like. Right now the season is springtime. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd day of spring. Erie Art Museum, just back here next to Glass Growers Gallery. Cute little shops and cafes down the way here. There goes the trolley. We're gonna go ahead and cross. We got the okay to cross. I'm not paying attention. Let's go ahead and cross the road here. Lovely bakery here called Bakery on 5th. Great place for a coffee, a little pastry. Got your noodle options here. Served to you by a robotic cat. It's such a cool experience in here. Flagship City Food Hall right here. We'll walk through the food hall a little later. This here is the State Street entrance to the Flagship City Food Hall. Food hall with a handful of different vendors. You can see them here listed on the screen. There's all sorts of cool food vendors in here and food options, and the apartments directly upstairs above. Pretty cool. So we're going to keep on walking here on State Street, walking south on State here. We're just going to keep on walking toward Perry Square, where a lot of events and activities take place throughout the summer, and the Erie Downtown Partnership even does winter events here. We try to embrace the cold here. If you're not from Erie, you'll experience that the winters here can be pretty harsh. They've been pretty gnarly here in the past, so it's been a fun winter. Now we've just turned west onto North Park Row, and we're actually approaching the back side of the food hall. There is a unit available upstairs to go look at, so let's go inside the residences of North Park Row. Right here is the entrance to the residences of North Park Row. The address is 22 North Park Row. All of the apartments are fob protected, so you gotta use your fob to get into the building. So here we go, unlocked. Let's go on in. So here is the stairwell to the apartments. You can take the stairs or the elevator to get upstairs. I think for today's purpose, we're gonna go ahead and take the elevator upstairs. Got to use your fob to call the elevator. In here is the mail room. This is where some packages will be left. You got your United States Postal Service mailboxes here. Got your parcel boxes. And here is the elevator. So let's just go right upstairs. We're gonna go to floor number 2. There's a studio apartment that happens to be completely available right now. So standing here inside the elevator, you can see it's pretty spacious. Nice big elevator, large enough to get, you know, a couch or maybe a small bed, some furniture items to move. And now we are upstairs. I'm gonna drop the level of my voice just a little bit because now we're in the residential area of the apartment building. We're directly above the Flagship City Food Hall, which is pretty neat. So we'll walk through the food hall after this so you can see what's going on down there. But let's kind of wander through the hallways here. There's 13 apartments in total just in this building alone. So we're gonna look at this unit right here. This is unit 201. This happens to be a studio apartment, and we can, we're lucky, got the key, and it's open and available and been recently cleaned. So I think the lights are turned off right now. Yeah, the lights are turned off right now, so I'll have to run around and turn the lights on to give you the full experience. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, here we go. So this is a studio apartment at the Residences of North Park Row, address 22 North Park Row, unit 201. So standing here in the kitchen, this is, what do they call it? Like a peninsula island kitchen. This is a bar height countertop, so it's tall enough to get, you know, like a bar stool. There's plenty of room here for a bar stool, some chairs, so that you can actually use the countertop as a table. Pretty neat. You got your appliances, you got your dishwasher, got your sink. I always like pointing out that there's a sink sprayer. Then you got your oven and your stove, microwave, freezer, and refrigerator. Quite a bit of storage. You know, there's a lot of storage areas here for plates and food and things like that. Right back here is the bathroom. Nice tiled bathroom here. This is a tub shower, pretty cool. Right here, got a mirror. Hello, hello, that guy looks familiar. Nice lights here. Got the vanity. The thing I like the most about these drawers, and this is the case for all of the apartments, all the drawers are soft close. So here's what I mean. No matter how hard you slam it, it'll always come to a slow stop. And I like that. Kind of helps to tone down on the noise. So got this cool, kind of like a subway tile. All these lights in here are LED and they all dim, pretty neat. Right here is the laundry unit. This here is a combo unit. It's a combo washer and dryer, which means it does the washing and the drying all in one little unit here. And then right next to that unit, this is the maintenance closet. I can go ahead and pop it open because I happen to have the key, but this maintenance closet is not accessible to residents, only accessible to maintenance. So this is where the hot water tank is, and this is where the filters are and things like that. These are really cool windows. I am filming this video kind of in like that, wide format, so it might look a little distorted, but this is a nice space here. I can't recall exactly how many square feet this one is. Got some additional closets for storage, but let's show off the view here. This is a State Street view. I can think about how nice this view would have been for the St. Patrick's Day Parade or perhaps Celebrate Erie. The windows also come with these little solar blinds here. They're not quite blackout blinds, right? They're not blackout blinds. They just kind of cut the sunlight just a little bit, just to give you cut out that harsh sunlight, which in the morning, sun rises right here. So early in the morning, very, very bright sun. But this cuts it just a little bit, give you a little break from the harsh sunlight. This one happens to be directly above the Flagship City Food Hall bar, which is occupied by Ipa Pizza. They do karaoke and live music downstairs. Live music every Wednesday from 6 to 8 and karaoke every Tuesday from 6 to 8. There's a lot of studios in here. There's a couple 1-bedrooms and there's a handful of 2-bedrooms. Turn the lights off. There are actually 2 addresses to the Residences of North Park Row. Call it Building 1 and Building 3. Right now we're standing inside Building number 1, which is located above the Flagship City Food Hall. Building number 3 is located above the Country Fair. That's at address 32 North Park Row, and that's exactly where we're gonna go next. Oh wait, before we leave, let's actually go inside the food hall. you live here, you have a special entrance right to the food hall. So when you open this door, you are thrown right into Noodle Love and Dina's, which is pretty neat. So just around the corner, you got Joe's Brooklyn Bagel, there's Dina's, Noodle Love, Wee Corny, right here in front of us, Cheesery. You got Mexican food here at Enrique's. And here in the middle area of the food hall, we can look up and you can see those windows, and this here are those apartments. Not the one that we were in, but apartments nevertheless. And over here is the Ipa Pizza bar area. This is where we have our live music and our karaoke. This is where we just were. This is 22 North Park Row. The residence is in North Park Row, just upstairs. Flagship City Food Hall downstairs. Pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully cross the street here because there is quite a bit of construction that we can talk about while we are walking over to 32 North Park Row. So right behind me is the future site of the Flagship City Commons, which is going to be a huge 4-story glass arcade building that will connect the food hall to the building that has the country fair, which is 32 North Park Row. So a lot of construction's happening over here right behind me. Pretty cool. There's the crane. You can see the crane is in place. You can see the renderings right there. I can also hear a helicopter overhead, potentially going to the hospital just down the road. This building is going to be mostly commercial, office space, and connections from the park to the parking garage and the food hall to the country fair. Pretty cool. But let's go check out 32 North Park Row. Apartments just above the Country Fair flagship store. We'll take a quick peek inside. So this is the Country Fair flagship store located just below the apartments at 32 North Park Row, which is right upstairs. So just downstairs, you got this really cool little convenience store with all sorts of cool soft drinks and even like a small grocery section here. You can get your frozen items. There's like frozen pizzas and there's milk. You can even get, cheese and bread. It's pretty cool, just a cute little convenience store. So now we're standing right here on the corner of 5th and Peach. We've just come out the backside of the residences of North Park Row, and now we're faced with this new building that has Dave's Diner, some apartments upstairs, and a parking garage there in the back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cross the street here. You can see Dave's Diner right here on the corner. So what we'll do is we're gonna go pop into this building. We're gonna go see a 2-bedroom apartment here at the apartments at 5th and Peach West. You can see you need a fob to get into the apartment lobbies. Met with some nice artwork, and now we're just gonna head right up the stairs. I'm sorry, head up the elevator. Hey! Just bumped into a resident here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scan our fob and we're gonna go all the way up to floor 5. What we're doing is we are walking down the long corridor of apartments and we're gonna go to unit 505. We're gonna go look at this 2-bedroom apartment and get my keys out here. This apartment's pretty neat because it's got a nice balcony with a cool view of the lake. So let's go check it out. So here's unit 505. Key in. Here we are. Lights are off again. Boy, 0 for 3. Oh, lights on. Now we're prepared. So we are in a 2-bed, 2-bathroom apartment. This is at the apartments at 5th and Peach West. Got 2 bathrooms. So bathroom number 1 right here. There's a bedroom right here. Big living open space here. Nice kitchen, bedroom, and another bathroom. So we have a lot to cover. Let's just kind of breeze through this. So it's a cool kitchen right here. The countertops are a little lower than what's over at the food hall. So you wouldn't be able to get like a traditional bar stool height stool here. It's really more like a table height. So it's a little lower than like a traditional bar height, a little lower than what was over at the food hall. Here's your lights. The appliances are, I think, exactly the same. You got the microwave, your stove, your oven, freezer, refrigerator, dishwasher, and sink with a sink sprayer. I don't know why I like to show that off, I just do. All right, let's go into the bedroom. So the bedrooms all have doors to the balconies. It's pretty neat. We'll go to the balcony in just a moment. Check out the bathroom tile. Very similar bathrooms to what we saw over at Residences of North Park Row. Stand-in showers, pretty cool. We're gonna skip that for just a second. Hang tight, I promise. Over here, we walked right by one of the closets. There's a pretty spacious closet right here when you walk in the door. There's also a Stacked washer and dryer right here. Different units were ordered for this building. So over at the food hall, they had those combo units, and over here, they ordered the stacked washer and dryer. So you still have your laundry facility here. Here's another bathroom with a tub shower. That guy looks familiar. Hello. There's your lights. And then you got another bedroom right here. I like this bedroom because this bedroom ended up with an enormous closet. Look at the size of this thing. So again, you can walk right into this closet. Lights turn on automatically. Hello, thank you. Lights turn on automatically, and you can see how spacious this closet is. This is quite large, a lot of space in here. All right, let's go check out this balcony. I love this. It feels like it's about to rain, so I don't know how long I can be out here. Clouds rolled in. Look at this view. And there's the lake right there. Right below us here is Peach Street. Let's head back inside. So this is the main living area. There's a light here. I'm assuming this is for like a table, a kitchen table. Over here, couch TV setup could be pretty cool right there. And then we'll go check out this other balcony. Open it up. Here's balcony number 2. One of the most commonly asked questions we get about the apartments is where you park your car. Residents will purchase what they call a parking pass. A parking pass is good for the garage that's located right behind this building. So before we leave, I'm going to show you exactly how close this garage is. In fact, from this building, you don't even have to step outside to get to the garage. It's attached, which is kind of neat. Approaching the lobby again, and then instead of exiting the building, which is out that door, that's the door that we came in, you can actually exit the building through this door, and this takes you right to the garage. How cool is this? So this is a 300 space parking garage with its own dedicated elevator, so that you can park on any level of the garage you want. The parking garage also has its own dedicated bank of elevators, and those elevators service the upper floors. All right, so now we're on the top deck of the garage. It's always cool to come up here. You just get a great view of the city. So this here is the top deck of the garage, looking north over downtown Erie and the bayfront. We can swing the camera around. Now we can look south, and now we can get a really good view of that construction we were talking about. We were walking on the park over there where I was discussing the Flagship City Commons construction. It was just behind me. Now we're on the north side of that construction now, and you get a great view of it from right up here on the top deck of the garage. That right there is UPMC Hammett. Next building we're going to go check out is the Ascend Climbing Gym building. We call this 5 West as it pertains to the apartments just above the climbing gym. Pretty cool little building here. Address 16 West 5th Street. Unit 404. All right, we got the lights on and we're ready to go. Let's go check out this 2-bedroom apartment. We'll just kind of walk right here into the main living area. Really big, wide open space here with the blinds. And a very cool view of downtown Erie. Look at this. Nice big space here for a TV, a couch, countertops here. Just like the last one, they're lower. They're not quite like bar height, so not quite tall enough to have like a traditional bar stool. I gotta have like a chair or a shorter stool. There's that kitchen again. Dishwasher, sink. Here's one of the bedrooms and the closet. And the laundry units here at 5 West are the stacked washers and dryers. Bathroom, stand-in shower. There we are again, hello. There's that vanity. And then you kind of have this cute little half bathroom for your guests. Another closet here with a sliding door. And then an additional bedroom or small office. A nice view here. Standing here on the corner of 5th and State, generally where we began the tour. Oh, there's John the Mailman. John the Mailman, he's a legend in these parts. All right, so the final apartment, I'm really excited for this one. We are actually going to be able to go into 429 State, and we're going to go check out an occupied apartment. This resident has been nice enough to open their door to us so that we can go in and see what it looks like when it's all decorated and there's furniture in place. This is going to be a 1-bedroom apartment right here at 429 State. So I think we should just pop on inside. We'll grab our fob and let's go. We're going to go ahead and use our fob. We're going to go inside the first door here. We got one more fob to scan. 429 State has an elevator. Today we're just going to take the stairs. Coming up the stairs to the 3rd floor. Check out this cool hallway. So this is 429 State. There's 14 apartments here. A good mix of studios, 1-beds, and a couple 2-bedrooms. These floors, however, are totally original and truly beyond gorgeous. So we're gonna go check out an apartment in here. We're gonna go see what this 1-bedroom is all about. All right, so we just popped into a 1-bedroom apartment. This is super cool. It's really cool to see an apartment that's kind of lived in and decorated so we can see what these things look like instead of just, blank white shells, which is kind of what we saw today. But this is a 429 State 1-bedroom apartment. So 429 State has slightly smaller appliances from what we saw earlier today. These are slightly smaller appliances, just a little cozier kitchen, but still a lovely, lovely kitchen. Look at these cabinets. Very cool. Lots and lots of storage. Immediately to the left is the bathroom. Very similar bathroom tile from over at the food hall and the other apartments that we saw today. But there's a different washer and dryer in this unit. Nice big stacked washer and dryer. Lovely place here for laundry. Really cool. So here is the vanity. How cool is this? Up here, our mirror. Very, very cool. Shower. All right, right over here. This is the main living area. This is cool. So the hardwood floors continue from the hallway here into this apartment. There's some really cool artwork hung up here. Check that out. Very neat. This happens to be a corner unit. Got a nice view here of 5th Street. This resident also put their stools up here on the countertop, so you can kind of use the countertop here as a table. Very cool. Nice big TV mounted there to the wall. Just on back here is the trash alley for 429. And this trash alley, we actually use it as a cool little concert venue in the summertime. Very cool little things we call 429 trash alley parties. They're a blast. Bedroom area, ceiling fans. Very cool. Another TV there. Very cozy apartment. Very warm and welcoming. It's cool. I didn't want to spend too much time in that apartment. That resident was nice enough to answer the call and welcome me in to get a quick video to show what the apartment could look like if it's decorated and loved. and cared for. So that was really cool that the resident allowed me to come in and film it to share with you. I hope that was fun for you. That was fun for me to be able to see a cool lived-in apartment, see what's possible. If you stuck around this long, I want to thank you for joining me on this little tour of the Flagship City District. Today we kind of looked at, got a little sampling of all the buildings. We looked at the residences of North Park Row. We looked at the apartments at 5th and Peach West. We looked at 5 West. And we ended with 429 State. So just got a little sampling of all of the apartments, buildings, got a little sampling of some of the apartments inside. Of course, there's much more to see. If you are someone who's interested in an apartment or moving downtown and you'd like to book a tour, I went ahead and dropped a couple links in the description below. If you're already on our Flagship City Living website, just go ahead and scroll until you find the Book a Flagship City Tour section, and that's where you can book all of your tours for the apartment. So I look forward to seeing you downtown. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll get right back with you. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you around.